We are live. Let me refresh this thing. Make sure you can see us and hear us. Nothing yet. YouTube a little behind. There we go. All right. Happy 5th of July, everybody, if that matters. Sneaker
Man,
pickers.
everybody love my Starbucks content, huh?
Oh, there we go. Be picking up Starbucks coffee. Must have a
Hey,
great weekend sales to afford Starbucks. That's a sneaker picker
hey,
saying. Hey, I agree. That's
they
a
they they
luxury.
they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't accused me of being a Starbucks agent now or a Starbucks franchise owner. Come on
Oh,
now.
very true. He did own a coffee shop
Yeah,
in the past,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
never know.
yeah.
Kevin, Lakeland, Florida. I like that. Rory, Matt, Lucky on Three Legs, Rashard, Gyps Kicks, Sneaker Flip Find, Vegas Valet, Juarez. What's up? Let me see. Select Goods. There we go. Armand. Very nice. Who else is here? Leave a comment. Nice little shout out before we get started. We got good stuff today. B is going to share some knowledge, see what he learned out there at the reseller conference. Maybe some trends in reselling right now that
Mm. Oh, I could definitely speak on
maybe
that. The
some things that
trends.
we didn't know. Of course, we're going to go through the finds.
Yep.
We'll talk about some of the eBay news and we'll go from there. Browntown finds in the house. There we go. Baker brand. I'm gonna start off with this. Americans spend 2.7 billion on fireworks for 4th of July.
Oh my gosh,
So I don't want to hear anything how
it's so hard.
economy's struggling, people don't have money, things are all over the place. Look at this. I mean, is this even a neat fireworks? Come on now.
Wow.
I talked to so the guy at the post office. He was like, "Yeah, my brother-in-law, he spent like $400 on fireworks, and then his brother spent 200, and then another friend of mine, him and this other girl went half. They did 200 each, so 400 right then and there, just on a one, not even one day, just
Man,
nighttime mini fireworks show
if I
done."
was gonna spend that much irresponsibly, it's definitely gonna be on sneakers.
That's what I would think. Sneakers, food, something.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's like, come on now,
Dude, you
fireworks.
could literally drive 10 minutes to somewhere, someplace, and see a grander fireworks.
True. Yeah, and then dogs get all riled up, dogs barking. My neighbor, literally, like a mini party in the front lawn, just fireworks in the middle of the street, trash everywhere, slobs.
Hmm.
Mile High, what's up? One Kick Finder. Dapper said he spent zero. I spent zero as well.
Yeah.
Who else spent zero in the chat?
Yo,
Um,
you could just watch crazy fireworks on YouTube.
oh, I love those videos.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen the newer ones that they just use drones now instead?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Oh, I meant like firework gone wrong videos.
Oh, that's even I think that's better. That's better use of your time because you could just start laughing. Well, I'm glad we're uh we're on the responsible side here. Everybody's like, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
Um
Zach,
um
what's up?
well, Vegas Valet says Ken Griffey Jr. night. So tell me the story because I have Reds and you have socks.
Those two hats, Glenn and B.
Did Ken Griffey play in White Sox? Is that White Sox, right?
Yeah. I thought it was for Reds, yeah.
Well, the
Isn't that?
Reds, yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
Reds.
Um, love watching fireworks show on YouTube better than leaving my house. Let me see. Almost 3 billion. I better not hear no recession talks as Armand. Exactly. That's what we talked about earlier. And just my examples of the people I talked to that spent 200 to 400 bucks. I'm like, come on now. Why?
Yeah, if
Um,
man, if you're really gonna flex your fireworks, I would actually do what Mile High says. Just light up the cache and stream it and make a YouTube video out of it. You'd have more views and likes. Yeah, huh?
$200 on fireworks. Give me eight $25 flooded cleats all day.
There you go.
There we go. We spent 75. Josh Slave. Oh,
Oh,
not bad. I
so
mean,
he played for Sox at the end of his career. I didn't know
oh,
that.
end of his career. See, the more you know. That's why we have this chat here.
Yeah.
Educate us. Okay, so we are done with that random news. Let me get this thing started. We're gonna go through the
That's
fines.
it's like rich people news, man.
Okay, so the last time I think we left off, we were around here on the Air Max 95 Eddie Things. I believe that was kids at 40. A lot of people finding Ultra Boost at 25. I've not found anything
Ooh.
Ultra Boost at 25, but super cheap. Look at that, different colors as well. Brady NFL brand, a lot of NFL branded jerseys, random stuff
Yep.
been showing up. Pegasus at 50, Adidas hoodie, I did see that one out there in the wild. Nike
Oh, that's a
hoodies
clean Nike hoodie over there. Tie
right
dye
here.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, up in the
Flowers and tie dye.
clouds. And man, 80 on the Hoka is crazy. 40 on NMD. Now, for the big boys out here, for these
East side
fines,
girl.
they don't mess around. A Mile High Hustle, $40 on the East Side Golf Bag. This is wild, and I know two other people because Brian told me they did find these in El Paso.
What?
Um, yeah, one guy, which I know him, super nice guy. I'm glad he found it. Hopefully, he makes good money out of
Did
it.
you offer him $80?
No, I haven't seen him in a good while. And then the second one is actually a worker, and she was trying to hustle Brian into buying it.
For how much?
Brian declined, but I don't know how much she wanted.
I would have paid $80.
I think she wanted way more than that.
100.
B's out here offering.
I'm ready. I'm ready to.
This is so clean too. Such a nice bag right there. You got the shoes though, right? The navy ones. And they're
Yes,
kind
yes,
of
yeah.
like
The Jordan 1 low. The Jordan 1
yeah.
low.
I like those. Those are pretty clean.
Those are clean. The
Yeah.
details on this, um, yeah. This is how it's easy to ship this. Just stack a few boxes.
See, very
Um,
easy to ship.
yeah, use either a medium box and stack them, or you could do box 7. I think you can squish down to box 7,
Okay.
stack them tall.
And what was the price? I think it was what
39,
60. Oh, $40. I
40
thought it was,
bucks.
well, even 60 is dirt cheap, but man, 40 on this. Crazy deal. Um, Let me see. Oh, and he has the lows too, Mile High, so he's ready to
You
go.
could sell it as package deal.
He said, yeah, he said he doesn't know if he wants to sell it. That's the problem. So, I mean, this is clean. Now, I really wanted to go through the
Comps.
listings.
Oh, only 5.
Only 5 listings right now, and 17 watchers at 600.
What's sold's like?
Sold, I believe there was 3 or 4. Let me check.
I'll be like a,
Sold.
I'll be like a 589. Oh man, somebody caved in.
This one at 4, less than 4 best offer.
Yeah.
June 13th.
Yeah, and you know what he did? He copied the guy's listing too.
Oh yeah.
He screenshotted the guy's listing.
The first guy's listing at
And
900.
talk about sell similar, literally similar.
I'm gonna take your listing and I'm gonna sell it for half.
Yeah.
And best offer.
Man.
And this one had 600 best offer accepted. So only 3 have sold on there. So hey, people holding out. It's a great golf bag on there. So
Yeah,
Swoop Man, what's up?
Yeah, I would sell off my dookies first before I budge on this one.
Anybody else in the chat find it? Let us know. Where is my chat? I can't even. Where am I? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I have a person now that copied my whole listing to screenshotting the specifics too. Richard. Oh man. Let me see. Next. Mile High again on the up tempos and a lady size 6, 57.
Oh, that's the Serena.
Yeah,
I
Serena.
didn't know that.
Nice little cart full right here. Right here.
Oh, the soccer balls.
Yeah, the soccer balls, $10. PGs.
Whatever happened to Nike?
55.
Stop making them.
I don't know.
Or maybe Adidas got the contract. Something.
Something. Very nice. And the golf. Um, there's the PGs again at 55. I know Richard found a bunch of these bad boys out there. And let me see. He's on the hunt for one, says flipping the hustle. Next, where are we? Sourcing code. PSG, Chelsea, more jerseys also showing up. Burlington and Ross. There's a Griffey one for the Reds.
There we go.
Minnesota, the Twins. More Twins. Oh, that's at Burlington too. Ross has them as well. Lucky on 3 legs, 25 on each. So
I'm assuming they're women's or they're men's.
They're men's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Manly grip right there too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good referee shoe.
More Ultra Boost, Eddie Things, and some other stuff in there. $25 Ultra Boost continues. Some other Adidas in there as well. And then with Friday deals, $40 Air Max Plus, women's Metcons as well. Waffles.
Oh, gotta work on that grip, bro.
Gotta work on the grip.
Oh,
Tennis.
Throwing some signs there.
B said they're hitting agendas. Let me see. Leyva, very nice. Miami player issued. Donovan Mitchell.
What? Yeah, it don't matter. Mitchell's trash.
He's with the Cavs. Oh, look at these PSG.
Ooh.
Those are actually gonna fire. Actually kind of look like Trunks a little bit.
Yeah.
25, we talk about Ultra Boost and Fly East.
Ooh, Fly East made it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bulls on the snaps. Manchester United. Adidas and the M&Ms. People have been finding different colors too.
Nice.
And Nike shorts. So
that's fire. That's nice.
And Bulls as well. Whoa, what happened? Okay. Let's keep going up. Giants, Cowboys. I did see these at my Burlington as well. They were like 2X, 3X, 4X. Like big sizes though. Bo Jackson, the Emmitt Smith one as well. PSG. And our boy Broadway B. Mile High again dominating. Cleats showing up. Marshalls. We thought Marshalls was dead in the water.
Man, talk about Mile High's roller coaster.
Oh yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
We're gonna get through that. Let's have.
Good thing Mile High is here.
Good thing Mile High is here. Sounds like he went a mile high, and we're gonna talk about what happens next.
ACC right there. AG plate.
That's the AG plate too.
Yeah.
Oh my, this
Tiempos.
Oh yeah, when I saw this one, I'm like, whoo.
Elites, everything. So 29. And sold half of those already. There we go.
Wow. Sneaker Flip finds that all of them made in Boston. Wow. Sounds like Sneaker Flip finds holding out in his finds.
Sneaker Flip find definitely.
He's probably posting next week.
Flipping the hustle, always bringing the manly grip.
Yep.
Air Max 95s. So let me see, 42 on these. Ultra Boost. Blazers. More Blazers also showing up at Ross. Under Armour on the cleats. PGs. And more. Next. And there we go. Vans. Very nice. Wow. Bruce Lee. DB Fines. More of the cleats at 20. Trip to Las Vegas. Air Max 95s. Did see that one as well. T-Rex on the Adidas. Free Mile Highs. The Stealthy Finds. Jordan 1 low. Eddie Things on the Elevate. Now, Eddie Things posted this one. And then Flipping the Hustle also posted it as well. Comes with the little charms and all. Now, you said Backwall has a ton of these.
Yeah, they're outlets, yeah.
Okay.
And most boutiques have them. And they're stuck with them.
They're stuck with them. Interesting thing is, very nice in the 97s. I think Goat right now, brand new with box, they're at 100. So they're not really
Yeah, because they're just trying
moving.
to sell them for $50, right?
Yeah. Well, Ross was at 70, so
Oh,
you can't really. There's
even
not really
worse.
much there. Nike football. There we go. Leva jackpot find right there, 30. And then some of these jerseys are back as well. Hey, Kittle. Even though I think the only thing that's different here is the 49er logo. And other than that,
Oh,
you're
that's so
good to
good. That's
go.
so good.
Yeah, you got to pick these up. Very nice. Wait, how much are they? Oh, I think they're still 50. Come on, Ross. On the game jersey, not even sewn. I gotta talk to Ross. I gotta get
Yeah,
in
you
these
gotta talk
meetings
to
again.
them.
Okay,
Gotta
here
show
we
up.
go. This is the post you want to see. Mile High is in the chat, so any questions, he's there. Um, so very nice breakdown too.
Yeah,
On the
I
situation.
actually like posts like this because you understand the whole story.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Mile High says just when you start to hear influencers talk about how at eBay is really trying to improve their reputation with sellers, swipe through the whole story. Now, I really like this caption because he's calling you out because you're a eBay influencer.
Call it out.
I mean, not me. I sell on Whatnot. I have a Whatnot background. It's just not really on my radar. And so here it says, let's go through the story.
Right.
Um, so sold these brand new, and a buyer returned them used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which I think all of us have gone through that
Yeah.
situation. Um, According to eBay policy, a return item should be returned in same condition as which it was received. Very true. True statement.
True statement.
The other day, I actually received some cleats that were just like straight up beat.
Been used.
Yeah, they were like, come on now. So eBay said it could take 50%. Now, this is very important too because there's actually people that don't know that you can take
Yeah.
up to 50% if you
So
receive the item back, it's not in original
right.
condition.
So in this case, um, what I want to clarify: did Mile High have uh, does Mile High accept returns? I believe yes,
Mm-hmm.
because the buyer was able to request it. Correct?
Top
Yes.
rated seller benefit, says Danny and Mile High.
Um, I believe it's only top rated seller plus because you can
Really?
still be. Let me double check.
He's
Because
got to double check.
yeah, because there is a top rated seller and top rated seller plus. What's the difference?
Well,
So well,
I think it's just top rated seller, I believe. I don't think it's
um,
plus on these.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So requested, right? Came back and it's faulty, pretty much.
Now, so he takes the 50%. Buyer asks, "I'd like to know why I wasn't returned the full amount."
Mhm.
So buyer was confused. Mile High showed him the photos. Clearly, this guy used them and gave him the policy as why he didn't get the full amount.
Mhm. Because I believe Mile High um contacted what go back to the post. Where was this message from? Go this one. Where was I believe
eBay
this is
support rep.
which eBay support rep? I believe this is Facebook. Is it
Um,
eBay for business on Facebook?
I don't know. Mile High can
Yeah.
answer that
Hmm.
one.
Correct.
Um, so all I did was try them on, says the buyer, which we know that's
Yeah.
damn well not
Falsehood.
true. And so he's like, why can't I get the full refund? All I did, is it wrong to try them on? Can I
Mhm.
not just try them on? When he
Mhm.
clearly used them and who knows what he did with them.
Right.
So, showing examples, here's some pics. This is clearly brand new on the left and used on the right. And especially a shoe like a 270 that's just kind of like when these
Yeah. It's so easy
little
to tell.
yeah, when these little nipples, these little nips get
Yeah.
all dirty and messed up. I mean,
There's
that's
no going back.
pretty. Yeah, exactly. There's no going back from this. Um, Next, I try to lighten the mood with a bit of humor, so extra photos showing clean, used, nice little difference, nice little breakdown. Now, Mile High said, I relisted the shoes as pre-owned for 59 plus $5 shipping. Buyer found the listing and seems to accuse me of trying to sell them as new again. He's like, these sure look new. It's okay, I'll just dispute it. In
Mm-hmm.
the end, I thought it would be protected by eBay's policy. Now, this is where it gets a little weird because this buyer's still at it.
Yeah, yeah,
He's still hurt, and he's,
yeah.
I mean, he
He's the
really,
he was hurting for the half off refund.
yeah. So, and it was right for Mile High to relist them as pre-owned. Now, if he would have listed them as brand new, which he couldn't have because they're clearly
Yeah,
used by the
yeah.
photo. So even if he tried to clean them up, I still think that would have been a little bit difficult to show as brand new.
Hmm.
So he did the right thing. And then eBay comes out with saying they overturned the case and a buyer deducted, or we decided to favor the buyer and deducted funds from you. And now he's out of the shipping, the fees, and now he's stuck with used shoes. So,
But here's the thing: was it actually overturned? Right, because Mile High, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first ruling, or this the second ruling? Because was this did you say it overturned because a rep told you that you're protected, or was this the email you got off the rip?
hmm,
Right, because if overturned means eBay said okay 50% off, and then they change it all of a sudden. No, we're clawing back. I think that's one of the different things.
hmm. Okay, so let me see. We'll see what Mile High says.
Yep.
Let me see the comments first. Let me see. Richard, I just experienced a buyer who did not pay for
Correct.
my
See,
item, but I
yeah.
saw he had
So
four other items not paid and is still on the platform. eBay says they report buyers, but this buyer is still able to buy on eBay. Yeah,
yeah,
that's another issue too. That's
yeah. So here's the thing. Um, so I was correct. My statement was correct. Said this was the email after, because the seller help notice says we reviewed the case again.
the buyer asked us to review this case again.
So he filed for a
Yeah, the
he filed.
buyer. Yeah,
Okay, so because technically the case would have been closed, right? If you refunded the 50% off, right? Case closed, return ended, and then the buyer opened it up again and appealed.
yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Um. So yeah, I mean, it is wrong. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the buyer clearly did more than just try them on. Um, and eBay was also wrong in this case for
Yeah.
allowing the buyer to still get their way. Um,
Also, okay.
okay, go ahead, Mile High. Let's see what he
He said,
says.
I also had opened a case as soon as you got the shoes back, got it, to report the problem. The shoes were returned to be used, and then the case was closed because the buyer didn't respond. Oh, okay. So the buyer didn't respond because, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dapper says buyer must have appealed the decision, which I didn't know was possible. So I feel like that should have just been done, right? I mean, he didn't
Right.
respond. Well, I don't know why they're getting. I mean, how many chances do you get to overturn this? I mean,
Right. I think the process should, right, because like, okay, if there's a dispute, right, like if I get a return, I say, hey, shoes are returned. You put a photo that's used, and then do a refund. Um, which is again, this is in a way sad to say it's kind of common. Kind of like rude buyer, or take the people that are trying to finesse the system, because it's not like a weird case, right? Because we've had this. So the weird thing about this is the post uh, decisions, right? Like, why did the buyer get open the case again for review when there was proof Mile High have sent that it was used?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, so then I applied the 50, and then everything started. Yes, correct. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Dapper, I would agree. It's the Amazon effect. I mean, or any other, company that had made it too easy to
For buyers,
return.
yeah, it's like buyers.
Yeah.
win no matter what type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But um, so I know. I guess you're gonna see what you could do. I guess talking to eBay or
So
figure
yeah,
out
I mean, um, I DM Mile High right before this. So this is the statement. Like I said, I always fight for our rights, um, whether I agree with you or not, because I want to know the process and let this be a learning lesson for all of us, right? Because we've we've undergone through all of this. Two things happen, right? A lot of times, seller usually just most of the time sellers just say it's 1 out of 100 cases of my shipment, 1% error. That's the other side of sellers that I don't want to deal with the stress, whatever it is. Okay, right? Worst case scenario, you took an L on possible profit, but I think you could still break even. So that's one reasoning. A lot of times why this is just let go. And 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 for me, I'm gonna be honest, I've let go a lot. But when there are times that I'm not in a bad mood, I'll fight for it. you know? But the lesson here is, I guess what I'm trying to get is, what can we do if this happens? Because like, yeah, this is $100 shoe, $150 shoe, but what if it's $1,000 shoe? Now all of a sudden it's like, oh,
it's like
we
a
want to fight
Travis.
this, right? Right, a Travis Scott. Okay, now we want to really fight this. Um, so official answer is they're gonna be looking at this. Tomorrow, emailed all the details. Um, the eBay rep actually, person that I have had relationship with actually called me personally, to assure me that we're gonna find out the reasoning in this. But here's the thing: there is a process of appeal for this, and this is something that they're gonna tell me, because again, I told them, obviously Mahal said like it's not about the money, it's about the process of like why would
The
this
policy.
happen, right? Of the policy, because obviously this is not just him. It's happened to all of us, I would say, given the comments, and stuff like that. So we are gonna get a more official respond on how to fight processes like this, because I asked them like, hey, like, what if we just have an education about this, and that will be opening a can of worms. Next thing you know, all buyers or sellers are gonna keep filing appeals of just fighting.
Yeah.
Um, but the main issue here is this item should have went through authenticity guarantee, and this item should have been eliminated. This problem should have been eliminated from the get go.
Mm.
So, so one is we are we are we've agreed that this queue will be put on authenticity guarantee.
Well,
So
Richard has a good comment too. You put not as described, you'll get a refund no matter what. And that's the thing though too, is like the
yeah,
not as described, that one hurt me big time this
yeah,
last month. And it's so stupid too, because there's like something
yeah,
doesn't
and
fit
they need to
right,
say
and they put not it. Oh
yeah,
man, this
yeah,
one
that
lady on soccer shoe, I mean the golf shoes, killed me on that.
right. No, that is so true. I mean, it happened to me. It's a 6Y, right? 7.5 women's. Next thing you know, she receives it and it says not item not as described. I'm like, it's on the title, it's on the photo, but again, there is 3 day period of something. I mean, I've talked to an agent, and he said I can appeal it to decline that return. And I mean, look at my store. I have a negative feedback right now because I don't accept returns. Like, I'm not gonna accept a return of item not described because of that, right? And I've had issues like, oh, I'm usually a 9 in Nike and a 9 in Adidas fits different. Duh, obviously, it doesn't, right? Um, so um, I I would say, fortunately for all the appeals that I've had, I've mostly won them, and then the ones that I didn't, I actually couldn't tell you what happened to that, because a lot of times I get to a point that, okay, is this really worth my time or my energy, time, energy, and just the stress? I would say it's more important to me. That's me personally. but I understand that there's policy and rules to be upheld, and that's why I would that's why I brought this up. Because if it was just can the business person itself, I would have just advised anybody to be like, no, check it up to cost of doing business. But the hustle being the person that would go to these offices and present all the cases, this is one of them that I did.
Well, I think I mean, I agree with Mile High. He shouldn't have to do that. It's just kind of a dumb process going like appeal, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna appeal the appeal, and then the customer appeals the appeal of the appeal, and then he's gonna do the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna go back and forth. What should
No.
just end is look, give Mile High the 50%, and if you want to refund this buyer, which they're already
Yeah.
doing it anyway,
Or
they're
eat
gonna
it on
do
your
it.
end.
But they
Yeah.
need to watch these buyers, and especially now
Yeah.
this one buyer going forward, they try this
Mm-hmm.
doing this thing again. Start cutting off buyers that are going to be manipulating the system and the
Mm-hmm.
policies.
Yeah. Yeah. And also too, it's like this is like out of all the negative effects on us, we cannot say that there's been a lot of positive effects for us for eBay not upholding the rules and laws
Mm.
properly, right? Because there are like, there's stories that people have sent in used shoes and it passes new. You know,
Yeah, that's
like the buyer could cry about that at the same time. So
true.
again, there's really no perfect system, and I guess we're just harder on eBay because we it's an older platform, and also like I'm not, like my experience with whatnot, they just literally cover everything,
Yeah,
right? So there's no burden to us,
yeah.
right? So
Well, same thing with
so
Goat. I mean, they'll cover it, and then
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
even let you know if someone tried
yeah.
to.
But you've had returns and gold that was bad too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So there's pros and cons, and there's like, it's like it's a good, I think it's a good learning lesson on how to process certain stuff like this. But again, I would say like, bring it up, and I'll take it as high as I can, and I would say like, don't stress too much about it.
And we'll see what the update is, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can get it figured out, but also that we can also not have to also get through
Mm-hmm.
this same situation with all of us
Yeah.
being sellers. Lucky on three legs on Jordan 3's little retro action. Great question. Are they grade school or preschool? I think they might be preschool. Adidas on the tee, flipping the hustle. Random apparel finds, jackets showing up. I've seen different colleges as well on these. Carolina Panthers, interesting. A lot of Nike football stuff. Low profile on the hats. Oh, very nice on the Bulls. On the Mitchell and S. And our last one, PSG zip up hoodies, showing up at $40. I did see about 2 or 3 of these today, out there in the wild. So, all right, we didn't even get to our main topic. You're going live today on whatnot.
You know how I feel about that.
Is that the clown? Is that the clown hat or
Yeah,
clown
I have to
suit?
switch my hat. I have to switch my hat.
Okay, so let's get started now. Oh man, stupid fireworks. I've had like one sale today.
Bro, yeah, I'm at a third. I'm at a third of my sale yesterday, and I'm like holding my breath. I'm like, come on.
Come on, come on, man. Okay, so B, top 5 reseller conference tips and takeaways.
Yeah.
B said these do not have to go in order. There are 5 of them. We're gonna go through all 5. And so here was the. This is the photo I like the most.
Oh, nice.
There's 2 things that I like about this photo.
What?
Number 1, you're the only one who's eating, and number 2, you're the only one dropping straight up bombs on these. They're just like, what is this guy dropping knowledge? I don't know what he's talking about.
So, bro, funny story, right? Breakfast was at like, I guess, not. So it says networking at 8:30, and then event starts at 10. Well, goofy ass me and JC just didn't realize that there was breakfast.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, we'll roll at 10. Next thing you know, got late, right? And then walking, I've never felt so ashamed in my life. Apparently, the organizer was freaking out and where's the hustle be? And ask Ryan Roots, Rally
Ryan
Roots, like,
Roots.
hey, have you seen B? Ryan texted me, he's like, hey B, they need you here now. And this was, I was like on my way home, like on my way to the event, 2 minutes late. And then they just start like shoving food, and it's like, here you go, eat. You gotta sit at this table. And at this point, everybody was waiting, everybody was networking, and I literally just sat and I was like, okay, enough of this food. I'm just dropping bombs. Same, it's JC. JC admitted it. Said
It's
it's
on
on
me.
me.
So in this particular case, so you're considered like a table leader or something, kind of
Yeah,
like.
so like there's multiple speakers, and it was pretty cool because they've separated the speakers on each table. So like no buddies were like what was like, you know,
Mm,
click, there was no clicks. So a lot, all of this besides Liz is the first time people I met.
okay, so Liz 21 Closet we know and
Yeah,
love is right here
yeah.
on your left. So what I guess what were like some random questions you got? Like any like business questions that were that
Yeah,
you
I
would.
think it was a lot. Like the biggest is like, where do you source? Because
Oh, of
I guess
course.
it.
Where can I get inventory
Well,
like you're getting
because
inventory?
a lot of them have like, they're heavily in the clothing industry, and like thrift finds and
Mm.
garage sales. So everybody knew who everybody was,
Mm.
and it was a unique experience because like I've been in all sneaker cons last year, and then now like I'm smack dab in the middle of um even rally routes drag me to a Goodwill.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
surprised you went. You were in the bins? Look at this
no, no,
guy.
not in the bins because they
Oh.
actually don't do bins.
Oh, okay.
But I did find a comfy couch there, so I just sat on the couch.
I just. Oh man. Okay, so let's start with your top five takeaways and any questions in the chat that
Yeah,
maybe you had some questions like, hey, what do the thrifters think about someone like B selling or things like that? Then throw those
right.
questions in the chat. But here you go. So you said top five takeaways, number one or number five, and then we'll go to
Yeah,
number one. But you said never stop learning.
yeah.
So go ahead.
So that was pretty much the thing that I wanted to like, go in there because everybody, like the only person that I knew there was obviously the organizer and Rally Roots and Harry
Sunny.
Tornado and
Sunny.
Sunny, right?
Okay.
So and then a lot of them are in the clothing. Who is Rally Roots? Yeah, like no, and and then next thing you know, like my and I didn't even know like there were like big dog celebrities there, which is Commonwealth Picker.
Oh,
Everybody knew he was,
Harry
and then
Tornado and
right, and then American Arbitrage, So I was like, as soon as I start looking these people up, it's like, oh man, I'm learning from these guys. So I think that was the biggest thing, and which was cool because I think this was the first real reseller conference I've been that there was no ego.
okay,
Everybody was
that's
trying to
good.
learn from everybody, so it was good because like there was like no beef. Like beef is cool, and I would like laugh and giggle on the side. Um, but this one was like really cool. So never stop learning because, I as much as I ask because I squeeze a lot of them because me, I'm curious. You have American Arbitrage, 880,000 followers on TikTok, like
Mm.
24 million likes, like wild, right? Like even the hot girls don't have, the hot sneaker con
Even the
girls don't even
honeys
have that.
aren't even
Yeah,
bringing that
even
in.
the sexy ladies that have sneakers don't even have that much. And so I was like trying to like ask questions and just trying to see what the mindset is about. And at the same time I was kind of like, man, come on, let me ask question. And then they're the same thing doing at me, like they're asking me questions. So like we're like taking turns. So that was cool. Yeah, Glenn should have been there, but Glenn saving his vacation days at the end of the year.
I think Dapper meant like you mean there was no Glenn, right? As far as the ego goes, that's what he meant. All right, let's go to number four. Network is key. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. I didn't even realize that there was a meetup in Cincinnati in September.
Come on now. Just all the
Bruh,
resellers.
living under a rock. That's why I was like, man, I was slacking. It's the reseller rally, Glenn, when we first met. They're kicking it back
Mm.
up with Cincinnati Picker, um, American Arbitrage,
Craigslist.
Commonwealth, and Craigslist Hunter.
Mm.
So I was like, and the thing is sold out. So I
Mm.
don't have tickets. So network is key. I think you get introduced to a lot of people, and you actually learn from a lot of people. So um, that's, I think, one of the things that, like when you think you know a lot of people already, and then you get into a room like that it's totally different. I made it to a point that I would try to. I think I failed because I wanted to shake the hands of everybody, but I think I ran out of time.
Mm. Oh,
So yeah.
Sneaker Pickers asking. Oh yeah, yeah. Mahomes jersey. Why is it on there? I try to do a whatnot show for
Hmm.
jerseys. Yeah. Other than that, I should take this down. I don't want
Yeah.
this on here. Um. Oh, you're saying that you were talked to. You're saying like Commonwealth, some other like
Hmm.
YouTubers
Yeah.
and stuff. So, what did you kind of take away from that? That you, I guess, like content
I guess
wise, or
I realize that you can't do all at the same time.
like content
Um,
and
content and business.
reselling
Yeah.
and
Um,
yeah.
I realize that like the people that I've talked to that are very big in content, they're actually not a big business.
They're not big sellers. They're
They're not
more
big sellers at all, right?
okay. Okay.
Like, um, and the crazy part is they recognize it and they admitted it. That's why I was
Mm.
like, okay, so it's okay. So,
It's
like,
okay.
so it's okay, right? And then I guess for me, it's like, like, I guess we're just shooting for the next universe. It's not even we're shooting for the stars. We're shooting for a different universe about like trying to build a really big business at the same time build a big content, and it's like, and at some point I always feel like, man, like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? And like, I think this weekend, that week made me realize, like, dang, like, we're doing too much. We're doing too much.
Let's see. Vintage Profit and Select Goods. Yeah, so they're more YouTubers. They're more focused on YouTube or selling. In the chat, so here's a question for the chat. How do you feel? Maybe like, would you want your content creator to have a big store, or would you want them to maybe be more entertaining? I mean,
I
what,
think
what
I
would that? I think it's
well,
very difficult.
dude, I think I like how man, you're really bashing Glenn tonight.
he, mu- he has a lot of content, so he
dude,
must not be
dude,
selling
well,
more.
dude, back in the day though, when I met Glenn, he never had this size of a business, but his
Yeah,
content was all time high,
true.
you know? And then now I'm like looking at this YouTube, man, this guy haven't uploaded in 3 weeks. What are you slacking, right? In the outer, I would have said that, but knowing the numbers that you're doing, I'm like, oh, it makes sense,
Yeah. Uh,
right? So I would say my ideal content creator would be like very focused on basics
mm,
and influencing to help a cause in a
mm,
way, like, like if there's any issues, they would bring it up to the higher ups, because obviously they're the ones that are have partnerships with the platforms. So that's kind of like my idea, because at the end of the day, I guess, there's influencers. What I would hate is influencers telling people how to do $1 million business, how to do $1 million business, but they only do 50,000.
true. Yeah,
That I
that's
hate that. Like, I hate that, and I
yeah.
don't want that kind of mentality to win, and vice versa. Some, like, you know, uh, a big seller already trying to create content, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, let me teach you this. Like, no, you're past that. You have people doing that for you. Like, you're not at a
Mm,
position to teach me, right? Because, like, if you're a CEO of a company already, don't tell me how to flip burgers.
yeah, true.
So that's kind of like my
And then they do go back to flip burgers to try it out, and they have no clue what
yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah, right. And then, like let's make content, and they end up not showing it because they mess up.
Let me see. Josh Leva, more content so they don't take all my fines. I prefer real business or small content that truly matters. There we go, Rory Matt. I kind of like that
Ah,
too, you know?
man, I mean, like, Rory likes Glenn.
Small content that truly matters. Let me go back up. Intramorph. I like Graham Stephan makes way more on YouTube than his real estate investing. Exactly. I mean, podcast and the
Mhm.
videos and things like that. And well, that's the thing though too, right? It's like the reselling niche though is kind of a weird thing too. It's like how far can you push the reselling niche?
Yeah,
And I don't know because it's like it's popular, but then it's not. But then like
yeah.
where we're at is not as popular as clearly
No,
as like thrifting and bins, and it's more
well, I think we're
relatable
stuck
that
in the
way.
middle. We're stuck in the middle. We're not thrifting in bins. Our buy cost is cheap, but not 99 cents.
Hmm. And then
And
we're
on the
not
other
hype
hand,
beast
we're
type
not
of.
hype beast. Like we don't have LV, Dior's, Off White stuff.
Yeah.
So like we're here, but I think we are actually smarter because we understand both.
Mm.
Would you agree, Chow? Would you agree that we have a better understanding for the whole reselling business because we understand both? Like we have the access to hit raffles, and we know how to flip expensive items, and we definitely know how to buy cheap $2 socks at Nike, 1.99 cent T-shirt, or whatever, and know and understand that if we keep buying $1 item, we're gonna be swamped with listing. That's why a lot of the clothing and thrifting people are swamped with listings, and we're not. You see,
Well,
they agreed. They agreed.
we had 98 people watching. Now we're down to 88. So some thrifters just left. I mean,
That's right.
so B's ready to take this
It's like
community, and we're just gonna go
there's like
fight.
five people. There's like five people coming at the end. I like tip number one to the five people watching. So like man,
So
this
let
is so
goods.
like you have to go list.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's go to number three.
Stop. We love
Stop.
them. What are you doing?
Stop. All right, number three. Are you growing outside of just money?
Yeah.
So, personal levels that
Right.
we're talking about. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I would say like like relationships with your family. I would say like I guess your brain, right? Are you getting smarter with life lessons? Um, I think that's one of the things because a lot of them, yeah, introvert. I'm growing according to the weight scale.
Weight scale.
Yeah, I'm growing wider, not taller. Um, my t-shirt size is growing. It used to be a medium, now I'm a large. Next thing I XL. Um, but 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 I think a lot of them because a lot of them have like previous careers,
Hmm.
or like they're semi-retired or retired, and it was interesting to me that a lot of them could have just settled and like just collect retirement money and just stayed and chilled, but they're like growing like business skills. They're still growing a business. They're interested about something different than what they've done for so long.
Hmm.
So that actually like inspired me because a lot of them are obviously like I was probably one of the youngest people there.
Hmm.
um so that was interesting. Everybody was interested to keep learning, and that's why like even in that table, like I didn't even see that photo till you showed me. Like everybody was like attentive
Hmm.
because they didn't do it for me. At the end of the day, they did it for themselves. Like, what can I get from this guy, that I can apply to my business?
Darren, what's up? Let me see. Wider, not wiser. Still trying to learn to be more efficient at Mile High. So I mean, there's always some things we can always
Mm-hmm.
improve on. So I think that's always good to see what you can learn from other sellers, content creators, and more.
Mm-hmm.
Mile High says content requires more creativity and consistency to build, but maybe not as much effort to maintain as reselling. And that's, well, the thing is that I always kind of explain too is like when you're on YouTube and you do a video, you might think that like this video is like the best video you've done, and you put it out and it's like hardly any views, and then you put on like a video that
You just put together
I
quick.
didn't, yeah, I
Yeah.
just put together quick. I had to get some content together and it does well. Like YouTube's very, I don't know, up and down, weird on what they push, and that's kind of frustrating too because on the eBay side, Amazon side, all of that.
Yeah, you have comps. You have
Yeah,
sold listings that you
comps.
can base. Yeah.
The more listings you put, I mean, you should be selling more. You're consistent on
So what
that
you're
side of
saying
it.
is we just need to copy Rally Roots thumbnail.
I mean, if
That'd be
that's how you,
comps.
that'd be well, kind of. That, you know what? Because I remember I tried that too. With the dumb faces. I tried, and it didn't work. And YouTube, that seemed like YouTube. They're like, that's what they want. Is like, and then like clickbait titles and things like that. And it's like,
And then Glenn puts up Vapor Max 89.99 and goes bonkers.
Vapor Max out of all things. I know. What was it, like 95K views or something? It's like, so, I had dumb faces on the thumbnails.
Lucky on 3 legs.
I'm glad you stopped that, Glenn. Lucky on 3 legs. Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. You know what? Just delete those videos. Don't even watch them.
Just change the thumbnail.
I'll change the thumbnail. Okay, here we go. Number 2. Is your business profitable? Now, you must have been talking to whatnot sellers in this question. How did this
No,
happen?
no. That's what Commonwealth Picker said. The dude has been a teacher for 21 years. So the dude was ready to teach. Right? And he did say that, and it stuck to me, right? Is your business profitable? I think that's one of the things that, at the end of the day, it's so fun to like grab dunks and everything like that. And now definitely now it's not those.
Now it's not
things.
fun to grab dunks.
It's not fun, right? Like even Jordan 4s. Oh, Jordan 4 is the next Jordan 1. Yeah, it's the next one that's not gonna make you profit. So that's I think you always gotta figure that out. Like, like just always look at that because like the same way why me and Glenn stopped selling sneakers for $1 auction and whatnot because it wasn't profitable, and we were honest to ourselves. Like, bro, like we're making $4 or $5 in this item. So most of the time we're losing stuff.
Hey,
And
speak
like,
for yourself. Just
Glenn's like, never lost money, fool.
Mile says, love that guy. His expose on bubble wrap is a must watch YouTube. There we go.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
we gotta go back.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Growing in confidence as people at my regular job are asking questions. And I think, I mean, maybe the breakdown, I guess, on profitability is, it's obviously going to be totally different for everybody and what platform they're selling on, what they're sourcing. But a lot of, the sellers, if you're at the bins, you're getting things at $0.25 to $1.
So hard to lose.
So hard to lose.
The
We just
only
don't know
time
how
you-
long it's going to take to sell, depending on what the item is.
Yeah, the only time you lose is, well, put it this way, they lose the moment they list, they buy it because a lot of times they don't list it.
Yeah, you have to list it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you lose if you don't list. Period.
Yeah, because man, and then like I didn't agree about it. They said
Death pile.
It's not Death Pile. It's called Money Mountain.
Money Mountain. That's a new one.
Yeah, it's like sitting there. It's mountain. Yeah, it's a mountain of dump. Because you yourself don't even want to list it. And then now, everybody's like, oh, I need to hire a lister. I'm like, now you're just going on red at this point, right?
It's called savings account. Dapper, I like that.
Yeah, right. Dapper, whatever.
No, we don't like that.
Yeah, we don't like that. And then when I said like, yeah, I don't have that pile, and their eyes was like
no,
what are you talking about? Like,
get the hell out of this conference. What do you mean no death pile? Get out of here.
Yeah. So.
If you're you're not profitable for longer than 2 years, you're no longer you can take deductions because it's not considered a business, Yaroslav.
It's called a charity at that point.
All right, here we go. Number one. You said, "Are you still smiling?"
Yeah. Um, I guess it made me realize like a lot of the people there, like even though they didn't have a big business, they were happy. They were smiling. That was the I think like there's a survey like one out of the three, uh, most the richest CEOs are depressed.
Mm,
Like
I would think
because
it'd be more.
be like the one probably lied, the other two lied, the
Yeah.
other two lied, or the other two just bought their favorite sports car. That's why they're happy at the moment.
Mm,
Um, um, but it's definitely a lot of fulfillment. It made me realize that, man, it's not about just getting to the destination fast, right? I think um it's the process, and like it remind me about the speech that Kobe said about the process. The reward is the process. The moment you start loving the journey, you've won. um and that made me realize, because like um s- talk about sad story. There's this lady um that she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and
mm,
she's not gonna make it to the Boss Seller Remix in October. And
mm,
she made it her life journey to actually go and attend all the reseller conference. That's why she made it there.
mm,
And she like gave and she said like she smiled at me, gave me a hug, and said like, I might not see you in the next conference. And but she was still smiling because she was with her people. So I was
mm.
like, man, like that was deep. I at that very moment I felt really shallow.
Yeah.
Because
So
like
many
at the end
bigger
of
issues outside of reselling that.
yeah, yeah, and then it's like life, right? Like, and then the moment you start your moment considering about life, and the fact that reselling affords us uh things to do in life, right? Affords
And
us
freedom.
vacation, time, um, but but the downside of if you take it higher and bigger too soon, too quick, one is you feel like you're running out of time. So if I feel
Mm,
like if you're running out of time, it's either you have to scale up, get a bigger place, get employees to run it, and if you don't want to do that, then you don't have to grow. You don't have to get to the next level quick enough. So that was a realization, and I've seen her smile more than a lot of resellers that are making a lot of money.
yeah.
So I was like, wow, she understood life. So
And that's kind of going back to your like, are you growing outside
yeah.
of just the money part of it as
Yeah.
well? And I think that I mean you've talked about this too. Like if you're growing that quick and you're getting employees and you're
Yeah.
doing this, you know how Sneakers Envy also talk about that too. Is
Yeah.
like now it just turns into like a regular job again because
Yeah,
you're
now you're working for your business that you created.
yeah.
Like you've created a beast that only you can feed, right? And if
Yeah.
it dies if you give it to somebody else. Because a
Yeah.
lot of businesses happen like that, right? Like the
True.
moment you start thinking that you can hire a manager, next thing you know, the manager just screws you and just starts reselling the side,
Yeah.
And we've seen it, we've seen it happen, and they won't care as much. Because, I mean, the reality is there nobody, no, it's very hard to find an employee that would care it more than you do, care about your business more than you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, yeah, that the story was definitely deep and made me realize I was like, man, like, I kind of understand that I wasn't gonna beat my numbers last year off the rip this year, but I was still
Mm.
trying to push it as far as I can. But then made me realize I was like, yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're definitely like gonna do something for Diane. Diane, his surname, and I'm gonna put out some content for next week. So watch out for those, because out of everybody, she's the one that made the most difference in my life, and that's the first time I met her.
Hmm.
But apparently, she's known of the Hustle Bee for a long time, and she was rooting for me. It's like she was like, "I'm rooting for you, young one." And I was like, "Wow!" Like, so it's like made me realize like, okay, I'm making an impact. but I need to make more impact.
Mm.
um,
Select goods. I don't know if she was on Whatnot or not. No.
I don't know. I don't know
Oh.
if that's her, but yeah. My high said, good question. What about you two? Are you guys both still smiling on the inside? What about you, Glenn?
Very good
Yeah,
question.
actually, yeah, I like my high. So
Definitely smiling on the inside. My daughter just brings like a totally different feeling that I've never experienced because I have zero kids until now, and then she's gonna be 8 months already and going super quick, and seeing her smile and making her laugh and different things. It's like having. I think when people say like, "Oh man, you're not gonna sleep and you're not gonna do
yeah,
this," and of course I look tired. Of course I'm
yeah,
getting old,
yeah,
but I mean I wouldn't trade any of that. I mean
yeah.
this it's just it's I don't know. I can't even explain having having a child. And me and the wife have talked about having another one, and we are getting older though, so we got to figure things out very quick.
Well, we're about to have another one in 9 months, I guess.
Not that soon yet, but we need to figure that out. But it's
Um,
man,
yeah,
and you?
I think I'm not gonna say I'm 100% smiling.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm
I
not.
mean, I like that answer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that I'm all good.
Yeah.
I would say I would say the first 6 months was different. First six
Like
months
of
was
this year or
year,
6 months?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
right,
okay.
yeah. Like it was not easy because coming from vacation was amazing, right? Like don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, that one recharged me up. Like I was ready to
Philippines and
flip. Yeah, right. I was ready to fly to the moon as soon as I landed back. I was
yeah.
like, I'm ready, right? I got my stuff ready, and just things just didn't fall right in place when I thought it was. Like the whatnot side just fell
Mm-hmm.
apart. And obviously it was like 150% of the things that we did last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you guys know me, I'm very passionate about the stuff that I do. And when I've pretty much dedicated the year for it, um, I thought it was there, but to be honest, like I would say, like the last 2 months have been pretty pretty hard, pretty hard as far as accepting that, like I always say, like it's lessons in life, and it's lessons with people, um, but 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 I thought it was the rocket ship that we were gonna hop into to get to the
Mm.
next level, and then now, presented a different opportunity with eBay. It's totally different. So it's kind of like going back to um
No, don't read these comments. Just get.
I know, I'm like, okay, like, what's this guy making fun of me? Who's texting me right now? Um but yeah, it was refreshing. I needed that conference more than the conference needed me. To kind of
Interesting.
like go back into, like, I guess it's just like looking back. Um but what makes me smile again is they've reminded me that I've I've took the business so far in the span of 7 years, which
Mm-hmm.
I would never say it to myself like that, but I felt like I really needed it to hear from people that have way less than me, for them
Mm.
to say like, man, like I admire the work that you've done. And I was like, but for me, like at that very moment, I was like, man, like what's the next move? Like what are we gonna like accomplish next? And and it made me pause. And then again, Diane changed my life. She just said, like, like, probably after talking to her, I've never used and screamed the word never settle, because she has a word. Her word was fearless.
mm.
And for me, the word fearless meant fear the change that's coming and has changed less. So So I think, I guess, fear expectations less, fear, like fear not missing the mark less, and stuff like that. So it made me think that's like, okay, like, now I smile back going, I was like, okay, they're right. Like I've only been in this country for 10 years, and we've did a lot of work. We've made a lot of, um I would say, progress. And sneakers envy like reminds me of that all the time. It's like, man, give yourself some slack.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that made me smile. So everything I do differently is like definitely like different.
It's more like, I guess, being hard on yourself on a lot of
Yeah.
the things that you wanna do. And I know the whatnot thing was really disappointing because of how much time, effort, and like work
Yeah.
went into it, especially late last year, and so much traveling too.
Yeah.
Like Dapper said, like you were on the road a lot, and that like wears and tears you down big time. If you're
Big
like,
time.
and we're not even doing like when we did out hustled stuff, it's nowhere near like a, I
No.
don't know, like a band traveling or anything like
No,
that.
it
This is,
was.
but even doing that, I was like, man, like this
Yeah,
is,
we counted since May, since our Denver trip, our first Denver trip, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
We took 68 flights after that.
oh man,
I was like, how is that possible?
yeah,
And like that, like, and for me to have, put it this way, like, I'm looking back at like how did I manage to keep the business afloat.
yeah,
So it was just like really weighing on me and JC, like, like we were just like picking each other's slack. So
yeah.
that's kind of like what happened. And it's now it's like, you know what, let's just like not do that.
Just try to chill
So
for a little bit
yeah.
and see what's going on. I just turned down a better paying job because there was going to be a lot of traveling intramorph. And especially when, I mean, you guys don't have any kids right now, but especially when
Yeah.
you have kids or other family and stuff, like you definitely don't want to be traveling like all
No.
the time too. And
No.
yeah, that turns into a whole another thing. Ken having his Jordan baseball moment intramorph.
That that,
He's like, yep.
that could be a true statement. Next thing you
um,
know, we get ready for the three championships. Never said it.
he's ready to come back.
Here we go.
Ready to beat the Jazz.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Hopefully you earned a ton of miles. That's like good.
I didn't because it was random flights that they put me on.
True. Oh yeah, that's true too.
It wasn't even mine to begin with, right? Like, here's a ticket. You're supposed to be here. I'm like, okay.
Oh man. All right. Any other questions before we go? I mean,
Yeah.
so number 5, you said never stop learning. Number 4, network is key. Number 3, are you growing outside of just money?
Hmm.
Number 2, is your business profitable? And number 1, are you still smiling? All right. Any other questions in the
That's it,
chat?
man.
I got a Ross video for Friday, and then they're supposed to do whatnot on Friday or Thursday, and then B is supposed to go on right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go live a little bit after, and well, I guess special announcement. Um, Something that I proposed went through with eBay Live. So
Mm,
I will be in SneakerCon Vegas this weekend doing eBay lives,
mm.
because we're supposedly to go live at least 4 times when we're there.
Oh
So
man,
that's a big announcement.
who's in Vegas in the
Armand,
chat? Who's ready to see B over there? You're going
yeah,
out if
who's
you're
in
going
Vegas?
to
Who's in Vegas?
yeah, if you're gonna
I'm,
go
I'm
to
gonna be there working.
SneakerCon.
Um, Armand said, "When's the next out hustle?" So that is some. Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Well,
When's the next out hustle?
that we don't know yet, but we're trying to get ideas and beat through some ideas too, as far as like where we should go.
Hmm.
So we're probably gonna have to do something to get like feedback on where we should
Yeah,
go
we should do that
because
email again. Remember? Remember
yeah, we
you?
did like an email. We'll do something. We'll do maybe like polls, emails, and feedback on where we should go to do
Yeah,
that.
because
Because List Perfectly is,
ready.
wanting to sponsor and they want to help us out on that. So
Hmm.
that's awesome. And we can see what we can
Yeah,
do for like the giveaways, what we could do for when we do the meetups, when we do a lot of things that we did. It's already like 3-4 years ago. So
Yeah.
you know, we got some new
So
ideas up our
so
sleeve.
yeah, that's it's definitely cooking, and it's I guess it's one direction that we want to take more of. Um, I think it's another good round. Obviously, we can't take Glenn too long for time off, but we've saved enough days off for Glenn.
There we go. Well, I definitely want to do for Out Hustled because we had a lot of sourcing things. Obviously, the videos, my videos are
Yeah,
a lot of sourcing. But what I want to do for Out Hustled is really showing my storage units and how I pick my items, how I
yeah,
keep my items organized,
yeah.
and things like that I
It's more
don't
workshop based.
share.
It's very
Yeah, that I
workshop
don't
based.
share in the channel because
Yeah,
the channel is obviously more for like people care about that, and some people don't. They want to see the
yeah,
in-store action, which I get it.
yeah,
But I want to go deeper into that on how I can
yeah,
share my side of the business part of it. So,
yeah,
all right. So the B is gonna go live
yeah.
right now. We're done. I'm
Uh,
gonna eat dinner right now, and then
yeah, yeah.
we'll
I'm
be back
gonna
next Wednesday.
next Wednesday. Well, just keep up with us in our Instagram pages and Glenn's YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. We'll get some ideas going for Hustled, and we'll figure that out too. So we'll send some emails or polls and things like that. So all right, we're done. Hopefully you enjoyed this live. Nice hour, 10 minutes, and we will see you next Wednesday. All right, go ahead and get it. See ya.